because things seem to be frozen at the moment. Also, the power button doesn't seem to turn it off. You know, this may be going into the pond after all. Okay, here is the Dell M5030, the motherboard of which I put in the oven a couple of days ago. And I have started it up a couple of times a day since then, and it's been working just fine. Let's see if it'll boot up now. I'm reasonably confident that it will. There it goes. And if you watch the second video in this series, where at the end the computer booted up, you may have thought, well, gee, all just went well after that. But I didn't want to leave you with quite that impression, because that's not the case. If you were watching closely at the end of that second video, a couple of things were problematic. One, the case wouldn't close. I couldn't snap this part of the case back together. The second thing you may have noticed was that as soon as I inserted the power cord, the computer immediately came on and booted up without me ever pressing the power button. Now, you know, that's not right. That suggests some kind of a problem. Well, the case closure, we figured that out when a friend of mine, Rob West, who was helping me with the repair, Rob came over, and I was really about to throw the computer away. Because after that initial boot up, which you saw at the end of the second video, I was never able that day to get the computer to boot again. Never got a power light on. Didn't matter whether it was a battery or AC adapter. Nothing. I had decided I was just going to junk it. Rob came over, and I wanted to show him what I had done with the computer. And I thought, well, the way I'll kind of go over it with him, I'll just disassemble it again while he's here and show him what is involved in that. And so I did that. I took it apart. I put it back together, and I think I may have been a little more careful in putting it back together, because the reason it came on as soon as the power cord was inserted was that the ribbon cable from the power button was not correctly inserted into the base connector. In all of the taking apart and putting it together I had done on this computer, remember, I had replaced the processor, I'd done a lot of things. I had broken the little locking tabs for both ribbon connectors, the touchpad and power button ribbon connectors. I'd broken these little tiny black plastic parts that locked the ribbon cables down into the connector. And apparently, the reason it came on when I plugged in the power cord was simply that ribbon cable wasn't correctly inserted, was kind of shorting out the power button, so that as soon as it got power, it came on. This little ribbon cable latch has come off. I'm going to have to go get some tweezers to try to get that back on. At any rate, with Rob there, I went through the assembly more carefully. Had someone watching, I wanted to do it right. Sure enough, we got the computer put back together. I didn't expect it to come on at all. Plugged it in, worked fine. Been working perfectly ever since. Now later in this video, I'll include a couple of clickable links to a couple of websites that give very good and very detailed instructions on how to disassemble and reassemble this machine. If I had followed those carefully, I wouldn't have had the problem with those locking tabs. You just pull up on them just enough, and I'll have a couple of pictures in this video showing those tabs very, very accurately. And if you follow the instructions on disassembly, I think you might very well succeed. And after all, you don't have much to lose. A computer shop quoted $400 as the cost for repairing this machine. They would have replaced the motherboard and the processor, charged a lot for labor, and guess what? You would have ended up with the same motherboard that was faulty to begin with, and probably in a few months you'd have had the same problem again. And who knows, it may occur again with this computer. We'll just see. But if you have an M5030 and you're getting 7 beeps, you're not alone. Go on eBay right now. I just did. I found 2 or 3 M5030s being sold for parts only, not working, and a couple of them even specified the computer had been giving that 7 beep error code. So if you have an M5030, if you have 7 beeps, preheat your oven to 385. Go to these websites that I'll put links in for learn how to disassemble it. 8 minutes, you may have a working computer. And if we even have 1 or 2 people that are able to do that as a result of the video, I'll feel like it was worthwhile having done it. Thanks for watching. That's all we have for right now.